You want a lazy way of making money? I've got a story for you. In April of 2025, a 22-year-old American would figure out a way to call top 1%ers and take 5% of everything they purchased, which resulted in him earning $9,000 in his very first month of doing this, or around $300 a day, completely from his phone in his bedroom. Sounds pretty lazy, right? Well, it goes on. These top 1%ers were looking for a way to accumulate even more wealth, and like anyone who is smart, they know that they need to listen to wealthier and smarter people than them. Which begs the question, why would they be listening and paying Justin thousands of dollars when he's just some 22-year-old kid from Chicago, Illinois? Well, you see, Justin was actually the middleman between the 1%er and a 0.01%er who offered to help these rich individuals for a sticker price of $6,000. And where Justin comes in is taking 5% for just being the middleman. And the best part is his total investment time to be the middleman is only 15 minutes. And trust me, if that sounds too good to be true, inside this video, we're actually going to be showcasing one of these 15-minute conversations that Justin had. We're going to talk about how he did this 29 other times to earn a total of $9,000 in his very first month of doing this. And yes, if you're watching this video and want to do something similar, nothing is special about Justin. He just went through a pretty basic training that allowed him to get hired in this position, which if you want more information on, click the first link down below. But without further ado, let's get into the phone call.
Hey, Justin, good morning.
Morning.
All right,
Yeah.
give me a second, okay? Let me jump in the conference room here.
No, you're good. I shouldn't be taking more than 10 to 15 minutes.
That'll be perfect. Awesome.
Now, we're a minute into this conversation, and you might be wondering, how did the heck did these guys even get connected in the first place? How did he get this guy's phone number? Let me add some context to that right now.
So he sees your IG, he responds to you on IG. Does he buy that thing through like a link that he clicked, or did someone call him up to sell him on that?
No, he just clicks a link. After he did the 7-day course, there's a link where they book into my calendar.
So if you didn't catch that, the guy on the phone found them through a big Instagram following. And on that Instagram page, they were selling a $7 course on investing your wealth and money. He ended up purchasing this $7 course. And after you purchase that course, there is an option to schedule a call with their team. Hey, Jabin, Justin from Budget Dog just received your booking. So he kind of confirms the time there. Hey, in the meantime, here's a helpful finance quiz for you to check out, blah, blah, blah. So he sends them over the link for that quiz. Look forward to chatting. The guy texts back saying, I'm prioritizing canceling debt versus saving. So Justin responds here saying, hey, do you feel like managing your money, planning for your future, or something else entirely? The more you're comfortable sharing, the better I can help. And then Jabin here responds pretty much outlining his entire financial situation of what he's looking to get help with. After he sends that text message, Justin then calls him up for his scheduled appointment time, which is going to be the rest of this conversation that you're going to see now.
Yeah, so I guess I don't want to take too much time. I guess my reason for my call today is I kind of want to feel like what's kind of where you're at financially, kind of what's been working for you, kind of what's been a challenge, and see what we do kind of a budget dog aligns with what you're looking for. If it does, I'll get you booked in with one of our senior advisors who works closely with Brennan, and they'll kind of take a deeper dive, kind of walk you through your best next steps, and make sure you leave with a clear, customized roadmap. Just because we work with you as an individual, it's not like a one-size-fits-all. If we're not the right fit, no worries, right? I still make sure you leave with clarity so you're not left guessing on what to do next. Sound fair?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Awesome, brother. So I guess just to start off with, right, I mean, what's been the biggest area within your finances that you're currently struggling with or looking to improve on?
Yeah, so, it kind of varies because my mind is jumping around into different things, and maybe you can help sort of identify what it is. I don't feel retirement is the issue, so I'll say that I'm contributing towards my 401k. I've got company matching. I contribute towards my Roth. There are opportunities like macro Roths now that I haven't really figured out yet. I haven't gotten to that point where I have to pursue those kind of things. So I'm saving for retirement for myself. My wife doesn't work, so she's stay-at-home mom. I have one child. So retirement's not it. I think the issue is more so trying to, I think I'm accumulating debt. It's not bad debt necessarily, but accumulating debt and I'm not able to save and invest. I'm looking at my age and my increased income, and I still find myself kind of plateauing. And I'm not, I think what's happening is that my expenses are rising at the same rate my income is rising. And that seems to be a problem. So I'm trying to figure out, well, what can I do to maybe minimize my debt, and increase, maybe provide more financial flexibility and freedom, so I can make more investments. I can save up more at a higher rate. I do want to buy a house, those kind of. So it's a matter of having a little bit more financial freedom or flexibility. But having a kid, and then I'm planning on another kid also, is kind of, I'm not sure maybe I've been spending on the wrong things, So I'm trying to figure out how to minimize spending and only focus on, maybe building up some wealth so I can exponentially grow that wealth.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the get-go, I'm noticing one pattern is first thing you mentioned was like your income is rising. That means your expenses are rising. And necessarily on that end, I feel like, and this could happen to many. I'm not assuming anything. You could correct me if I'm wrong. But usually, what happens when our incomes rise, we spend to be more careless in what we kind of budget on or put our money in. And sometimes when it comes to the end of the month, we're like, okay, where did all the money go?
Right.
And right now, if I heard correctly, you have a kid at the moment. Did I hear that correctly?
Right now, I'm just in the process of him agreeing with me to make him feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I have one kid. Yes, planning to have a second. Yeah.
Congratulations, right? I mean, that's another thing we ought to want to focus on, wealth, right? And wanting to provide the better future for our kid, but knowing how we budget it as well. And you mentioned that you sometimes are overspending on stuff. I mean, where do you feel like are bits and pieces where you think you're spending too much on?
To be honest, I mean, I think and this is the part that's tough, because I have family overseas in Malaysia, where my wife and I are originally from Malaysia, so we live here. So, when we travel back to visit our families, we do this maybe once a year, once every 2 years kind of thing. My wife goes back, I think, more often than I do. But, those are high expenses, and I don't think we're planning well enough for how much those can actually cost with flights and, expenses and things. I think that's one. And to some degree, that's unavoidable because we have to go back to visit family. And then the other piece, I think, is, just the house itself. We invested. I bought new windows that cost like $50,000. It's just I've had to consolidate some credit card debt. And I'm looking back, it's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have bought some of these things, furnishing the house. I mean, these things are like no regrets because they're furnishing the house, but maybe we could have picked cheaper options, I think all of that led to some debt. Now, they're all consolidated. I put it in on a 0% APR credit card, so I'm not necessarily paying a lot of interest right now. But the snowballing thing is concerning me because I don't expect it to change. I expect, like, hey, these things are going to come up, and I need to do something differently to reprioritize money. And I don't know what is how much I should be investing versus how much I should be paying off debt, And I bought a car as well, and it's an $800 payment. And this was like 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have committed to an $800 payment, but it's already 2 years in, and I'm like, well, if I sell the car now, it's going to be at a loss, so I'm better off just keeping it.
I see.
But at the same time, it's like, if I could turn back time 2 years before, maybe I would have, reduced that in half, pay out some debt first, and then bought a nicer car. I mean, it's kind of, I'm trying to fix what was done maybe 3-4 years ago. I started following Budget Dog maybe about a year now, and some the advice there I've been taking, like making sure I'm saving up for the kid, putting some money in their 529s and their Atmas and stuff like that. Making sure I'm going to maximize my Roth so I'm making the long-term investments and I don't behind there, but my short-term, I'm kind of stagnant. It's not bad. It's just stagnant, and I don't know why and how to change that.
I see.
Yeah.
And you've never worked with any financial coach before, or?
No.
I see. No. And just for clarity's sake, right? I want to make sure I have everything aligned here. Does your wife know what's currently going on? Is she also involved in this, or is it just you at the moment?
It's just me. My wife doesn't work. She doesn't really manage any finances or anything. I just give her an allowance every month, and she she uses that for her own expenses and with the kid and stuff like that.
I see. I mean, looking ahead, right? I mean, we all know that building wealth and improving finances just comes down to having the right vehicle. But putting that aside, right? I know you mentioned wanting to have, prepare the kids, making sure you know where you're spending. But I guess what would you say is like your ultimate financial goal?
To move the conversation out of logistics. And I know many people get caught up and be like, hey, yeah, I mean, you got 401k, this 529, how much you got accumulated. And you get into shit that you don't even know, right? And then people then they start questioning more on that end, and then you're not going to be guiding the conversation where you want it. I always want to, like Matt says, make it a goal-oriented conversation. Focus on the goals, right? What do they want to be long-term?
I want to be able to have cash in my bank account, whether it's in stock or ETFs or actual cash. I'm trying to have about $200,000 in my bank account, and I'm seem to be plateauing around the 50,000 range. That's what that's where I'm at, and it's been like 3 or 4 years I'm still at that range, and I'm like, what do I have to do? What am I doing wrong here?
I see. And I mean, what do you kind of feel like you need where we could fill in the gaps, right? Do you feel like you need a right plan, kind of more accountability, the right strategy? What do you feel like you're missing at the moment, just to see how we can actually fill in those gaps for you?
Yeah, I think is I've got a second mortgage. I've got a mortgage. I've got a second mortgage. I've got a credit card with 0 interest, but still a credit card with 11,000 on it. And then I have a loan for my windows, which is about $42,000. And then I'm trying to minimize or consolidate that debt or eliminate that debt. That's the goal. But at the same time, not lose focus on investments or savings. I'm trying to build that 200,000 at the same time, and I keep getting pulled in different directions. Like, should I pay this off and then roll this in, and then some, do I keep building that $200,000, or do I pay off this debt? And nothing seems to be moving in the right. I was planning on paying off my second mortgage this year, and I just can't. I have all these other payments. I got to make all these other payments, and I did the math, and it's not going to work out. After paying off my putting money into the Roth, maybe putting money to the Atmas and 529s, it doesn't leave a whole lot left, because that's what I do with my tax returns. And bonuses, I just put into all these things because they're lump sums. Put it in there, don't look at it again, But I think prioritization on what I should be paying off versus what I should be investing, not the specifics necessarily, but hey, here's $10,000 you should always have in your bank account, or here's money that you should always put in ETFs, or here's the of these 4 items here, you have to pay this one off first, because this one has I don't know which is more important, because if I to me they're all important, and I don't know if they're all important, nothing's important, that's where I'm at.
Got it. So you don't know kind of what to prioritize in this case, to be the least important to kind of put your full focus on. But also we're feeling kind of stagnant to where we are in terms of our bank account. want to make it grow, but it's not growing on its own, being there. So we're kind of getting pulled over everywhere. So the only issue is not having a clear plan right now. It doesn't sound like that's the only thing. It's having the right strategy based on the sounds of it as well, of knowing okay what to do. And I guess that's something that we kind of see. I mean, a lot of people have that mistake, right? And it comes really down to kind of pointing you into the right direction. A good analogy I like to do. We kind of use here is that when you drive a car, and let's say you're trying to get somewhere, do you use a GPS or do you just drive around hoping you get to the destination? You use a GPS, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And it's more of, okay, what's going to be my GPS for finances in this case? Are you willing to try whatever you think works, or are you looking to actually get advice and kind of help to kind of put you in that direction? And based on the sounds of it, brother, I mean, you sound like someone that really kind of wants to get this kind of done with, right? Just really wants to kind of find what's the right next move. And I guess talking about finances, right? Well, because right now, based on our conversation, I do think kind of a second call will be necessary. But based on your finances right now, like where would you say you are, where you're at a yearly, what's your yearly income at the moment?
Yeah. So my yearly, my base salary is $224,000.
Okay.
That's my base. I get about 15% bonus every year, so 15% of that on top of that.
Okay.
Of course, taxes kill us here in California, but
Yeah.
you know, but yeah. So it's 224 base plus 15% of that.
Got it. And when it comes to your credit score, what would that be? A general range is fine as well.
Right now it's 740. It usually hovers between 740 to 780.
Mm-hmm. 747.80. Now, when it comes to liquidated cash, you mentioned you have 50 grand, right? That's sitting at the moment.
Yeah, it's in the form of stocks and ETFs. Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, maybe more than 50. I've got a Vanguard account as well, and I think I've got 6,000 or 7,000. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what definitely we can do. I'm gonna run this through by Brandon today, and kind of go everything that we kind of need to. And ideally, we can like once I run it through by Brandon, we could ideally like run it either have a call with you, kind of sit down with you today, kind of break this down. If you want, right? I have time later today. If that's even an option, if you're looking to it. This is Pacific time, right?
Yeah, Pacific time, yeah.
So like later today, like I'll have around from 12 to 4. If any of those times work for you, or if anything, we could do tomorrow as well. Which one of those work best for you?
Yeah, we can do. You're saying 12 to 4 Pacific time? Did you say that?
Yeah, today, 12 to 4 Pacific time.
Yeah. Can we do any time between 1? Sorry, not 1. 2 to 2:30 Pacific time.
I have 2 today. 2.
2 o'clock.
Yeah, I have 2 o'clock available today.
Okay, that's perfect. 2 p.m. Pacific.
Pacific.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because right now it's like 8:13, right? 8:13 for you.
Correct.
Perfect. So right now I have you for later today at 2 p.m. your time. And yeah, I'm gonna run this through with Brandon. I highly recommend bringing a pen and paper. We are gonna dive a little bit more. My supervisor is gonna run this through with Brandon, kind of run us through his ideas. Well, he's also gonna send you some private trainings after this, just to kind of give you a better understanding of everything. And let me know when those goes through. And you don't have to watch all of them. Just watch the ones that kind of resonates with you, right?
And I did buy a couple of the modules last week. I was gonna pay for the subscription, but I figured I better have this call first and understand what does that mean, you know?
I see.
Yeah.
The subscription is Millionaires Club, but based on what we discussed about, brother, I don't think Millionaires Club is what you're looking for, right?
Oh, okay.
Because Millionaires Club is more of a generic advice for anyone who's just starting, right? And I don't think that's gonna be helpful for you. I think based on our conversation, there's more of a one-on-one approach, that kind of what you need to kind of guide you through that
Okay.
direction. I think that's something that we're kind of missing. And having a depth conversation with Brandon. I mean, we're gonna run this by Brandon, right? Brandon's gonna give us his ideas. Everything we do, we're not a one size fits all. We're more of a how can we help you as an individual. And if at the end of the day it doesn't align with you, no problem at all, right? As long as we can help you a little bit more than where you were yesterday, that's our whole goal.
That's awesome. Get that. Yeah.
Awesome, brother. Well, happy for today. I just sent over all the information. Just highly recommend you join that call with the pen and paper. And if anything happens, let me know, and I'll get that rescheduled for you.
No problem. And you're reachable at the same text number and all that?
Same phone number, same email.
That's perfect. Awesome.
Thanks,
brother.
Justin. No worries. Have a good one. Have breakfast or have lunch, whenever. And let's talk soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Justin. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Now, he ended up booking that call with Brandon later in the day, in which Brandon pitched him a $6,000 one-on-one finance coaching program in which Jabin purchased that same day. Now, let's break down the math of how exactly Justin was able to do this 29 more times to earn himself that $9,000, all from Tulum, Mexico, which I found out later. So as I mentioned, the offer is $6,000. Justin gets 5% or $300 whenever someone buys. That means in total throughout the month, he had 30 purchases. But he also had conversations with different versions of Jabin who didn't purchase the program with Brandon on the call. Around 70% of people will not end up purchasing. That means in order to get 30 people to say yes, he needed to get 70 people to say no. So in total throughout the month, he had 100 15-minute conversations, which translates to around 25 hours of talk time on the phone. That is under 1 hour of talk time per day. Now, even though Justin is a beginner, he didn't just roll off the street to get this gig that allowed him to earn this amount of money. But let me just be very clear. This is not for everyone. You actually have to be a somewhat likable person who's able to have friendly conversations with people. So if you're the kind of person that's like bubbly and friendly and can chat with people, then 100% click that link down below if you're looking to make an income remotely in 2025 and 2026. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.
We're here in Switzerland.